Hey, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing? Welcome again to another episode. Ron's opinion don't matter. Hopefully, prayerfully, y'all having a blessed day. God is good. God is great. And as closer I get to Him, I'll be straight. Y'all like that? Bars. Oh man. Uh, life is beautiful. Life is very, very beautiful. I enjoy it. God is good. Having a wonderful time. Um, it's just been a blessing. And it's not like some amazing story just happening, but just every day, man, it's a blessing. Thanking God every single day, appreciating what He does for me. Um, the relationship that I have with Him, of course, I'm still trying to improve on that one. But God is good, and thankful and grateful to be alive. Thankful and grateful to see another day. Man, it's just if you haven't paid attention to the title of the video, it's Let's Talk Money and what I'm doing today as it relates to investment and stuff like that. I did buy something this morning. It's still down. Give me a second. I'm going to have to pull everything back up on my screen. I mean, not on this screen, but on my phone. But ELV, it's one of the stocks that I actually was looking to buy. I wasn't too sure what it was going to do this morning, but it still remained down. So that's the direction I took a little bit of money that I had. And then I bought some of the ELV. Of course, I'm acting a fool too, because that's what I do sometimes. But yeah, the ELV was one of the ones that I was looking to buy this morning. And of course, I did buy it once the market opened up. It still was sitting where I kind of wanted it. It's still lingering in that area. At one point, a little while back, I'm gonna say almost. I don't even think it was that long ago. Back in 2022, somewhere around in there, this stock was at about $500 a share. Doing it close to half of that right now. So I had it up there a little bit. I had a little bit of money there at that moment. But then I started once I seen it drop a little bit. Now, as I get my dividend payout, some of that money is going to be going there. The stock market as a whole is not where I would like to buy. But that particular stock is down enough where I'm willing to take the risk of filtering more money there. I waited it out. My average was up there too, like $490 something when I first started buying it. I'm down to I'm under $400 a share now. I'm like $390 somewhere around in there, which I'm gonna still buy as I get money. Averaging down as it drops, or if it remains right where it's at, I'll as I get more dividends in, I'll filter that money there depending on what I have to work with. But again, that's just one of the companies that I was doing. But some other ones I was looking at, haven't actually purchased it yet. We'll see how the day plays out. But WCN, which is basically a recycling company, waste management. I believe it's Waste Manage or Waste Connection, something like that. But they recycle. And then the other one is Tyson Food. Yeah, it's Waste Connections. I knew it was something like that. It wasn't Waste Management, but it's Waste Connections. But that's one of the ones I'm looking at today. It's still on this down slope, which we'll see how that plays out. So I got a little bit of money to work with, so I'm gonna probably dump some money there. Trying to think what else. That one, and then Tyson Food. Tyson Food would probably be the other one that I'm looking at. Haven't actually bought neither one of them yet. Well, I have Waste Management. I have it. That's where I always tell people I don't keep a watch list. I'll put $1 into something and just have it in my portfolio, and then I'll watch it from there. That way I don't have to be going from one screen to another screen. $1 is not gonna hurt me. So I put $1 there. That sets my average cost, and then I work from there. And right now, Waste Connection is down below where I originally bought it at, which I bought it at $185 and some change. It's at 181 right now. So I'm still being patient and seeing where it's going to go. I mean, it's been dropping for the last 3 months, so probably is a good moment to buy it. But sometimes it works out for me that way, sometimes it doesn't. But one thing I am is patient, and I just wait it out and see what happens. You know what I mean? I don't I try not to what do you call it? I try not to move too fast. Sometimes that hurts me, and sometimes it hurts, sometimes it don't. And sometimes like I waited too long. But then that's where patience come in, and sometimes you just gotta fall back, and you might get another opportunity. And don't cry about what didn't happen or where it went. It went high, it went up. At this point, I've been watch the stock market every day for so long that I just be like, okay, I'll get another moment, or I'll look for something else. And that's how I continue to buy and building the portfolio that I built since I've been buying stock. And I just wait, and that's my move with dividend stocks. Again, I always tell people I'm not a financial advisor. This is not a you should do what I do type of thing. I just tell people what I'm doing. That's what these videos be about. It's more so giving people a little insight of what I do. There's nothing groundbreaking, like I always say. It just gives people insight of what I do and why I invest the way I invest. I go strictly, not 100%, but 95% of what I do is income based. I'm looking for the income. So I'm going to hold long term, buy as low as I can, and continue to establish an income. That's it. That's pretty much where the direction that I go. For me, the stock market is up a little high. I don't want to. So I just that's why I said I was slowing down how I invest. I wasn't going in heavy, trying to buy. That's not my direction at this point. It's just low, slow, and I still want to stack some money to the side, just in case we get some crazy news that either Trump says or the Fed say, or something goes wacky, where it's an opportunity for me to buy more. And that's it. And I mean, as far as cryptocurrency go, like I said, I don't really invest a lot in crypto. I do have money in crypto, but I'm not heavy in. I'm looking into something now because of the Trump administration with this cryptocurrency. So far, the only thing I keep looking at is whatever they did. It seemed like it. And I'm not saying I'm right about this; it's just my opinion on it. It seemed like is more in line with the stable coin crypto as opposed to the rest of the crypto market. I don't know how that's going. I mean, of course, we know Trump has his own crypto coin, and stuff like that. But I don't, I think a lot for people that invest in cryptocurrency, I think the fact that there wasn't a government, like the Federal Reserve government, whatever, involved in that, I think that's why a lot of people invested in crypto that did. I mean, I understand how it works, and it doesn't really work much different than our regular financial system. It really doesn't. It's just, in my opinion, it just moves money faster, and it doesn't have that slow moving, got to move money from here to here, face to face. So I get the purpose behind crypto, and I don't, like I always tell people, at this point, crypto's not going nowhere. It's going to be here. It's part of our system now. But I don't know what the story is with what this legislation was about. I always try to fall back and don't say anything until I kind of get a better idea. And I'm only briefly saying but it just seemed like they keep referring to the stable coin, which is a cryptocurrency, but it's more like in line with the United States currency. So it's like, what is this all about? So I'm going to have to keep looking into it. I mean, it's not on my priority list, but I'm going to keep looking into it and just try to get an idea, just because my brother reached out to me about it, and I know he had concerns. And do I have concerns about it? Nah. My reason why I don't have concerns is because God takes care of me, not the government. God takes care of me, not Trump. God takes care of me, not what's going on around the world. So I don't worry about stuff like that. I mean, yeah, we all have our concerns about it, but at the end of the day, God is in control. So I'm His child. I'll be good. That's the way I see it. That's just the way I see it. But as it relates to that, we'll see how that goes. I don't. I'm one that don't. I want minimized government, and I know people. When I say that stuff, I say I want minimized government. I don't want no big government. I don't want government involved to happen stuff that the government involved in. I feel like if there's people that need, and you rely on God, or you rely on what other people do for you. I don't like the fact that the government takes it from us and give it to somebody that didn't work for it. I have a problem with that. So that's why I talk the way I talk. That's why I feel the way I feel, and I make no apologies for that part. I should not have to work my behind off of my paycheck and then watch y'all take a big chunk of it and then start handing it and doing stuff with it. And my thing is they waste it. Waste. It is so much waste done by government, it ain't funny. And then for them to have the audacity to say, oh, we need, we shouldn't be cutting all this stuff. Yeah, we should. I don't care. It's coming out of my pocket. I want to cut. I want it going. If you don't like it, you work for government, you lose your job. It's nothing personal. I get it. But there's more jobs out here. You just want to have to change what you do. And it's nothing personal against nobody. It's just that I don't feel as though people that, everybody should be, all the stuff that government wastes money on, American citizens shouldn't just be forced to pay for it. We shouldn't be. Where was the sympathy? And I say this all the time. Where was the sympathy for the everyday hardworking American citizen? None of these politicians had any sympathy for us. They just kept going. Kept going and kept wasting. Kept going and kept wasting. Kept going and kept wasting. They had no sympathy for the working class. They didn't care. They didn't care if you went broke. They didn't care how much they take from you. They didn't care how much it cost you. They didn't care. And some may say, well, what's the difference? Like I tell people before, I do not have to look at the person. I look at the policy. That's it. And I look at how is the policies that y'all write or do, how is it going to affect the everyday person? And that's it. So if you take the person out and put the policy into play, you get a better idea of what's going on. And I only say that because, we're looking at the stock market. There's been some record highs. I don't care about that. That's not beneficial to me. I care about being able to get stuff cheap as possible. But other people have money invested in the stock market. They're probably getting ready to take money out, take money out, take money that they need for retirement. Whatever it is that they have to do, it's their money. They invested, they took the risk, they got the benefit, they got the reward, they should get it. So that's how I see it. Now, we already know that there's a lot of greedy people on Wall Street that just, they so greedy. No matter how much money they make, they just want to take more. Take more. Well, I ain't gonna say take, but some of them, they use their strategy and they make money and stuff like that. But the people that I always seem to have a problem, the ones that I have a problem with is the politicians. Because y'all been doing the sneaky stuff behind the scene. I don't care what side of that you want. Getting rich and wealthy off of writing policies that you already know you're gonna benefit from, and to me it's inside trading too. And y'all, and a lot of them do it. Democrat and Republican, mostly Democrat, by far. But there is some Republicans that do it too. But by far, most of Democrats. They both do it. But by far, most has been the Democrats. It doesn't. By far. And they say, oh, no, I don't care about what y'all go do whatever you want. I know what I'm talking about. By far, most were the Democrats. That's why their wealth is so extremely high. And the people that they serve, wealth is so extremely low. Because they not giving the people nothing. They just consuming it all for themselves and leaving their voters with crumbs. And that's real talk. But those are the things that I'm doing. ELV, I already bought some this morning. That was my intentions. Was to buy some more this morning. What's up, Mike in the building? Mike Sports Vibe Balling. How you doing? God bless you. Welcome in. Hopefully you're having a blessed, wonderful day, and hopefully all is well with you. But that was one of the ones that I did buy some this morning. The other one I was watching again was the WCN, which is Waste Connection, and TSN, which is Tyson Food. I do have some money in DX. I didn't mention this one, but DX is like an ETF, similar to an ETF, but it pays out dividends on a monthly basis. All of these stocks do pay dividends, just so y'all know. Currently, we're paying dividends, and I've collected dividends off of all of them. DX is one that actually pays every single month. If I'm not mistaken, it's around 10 cents a share that it pays out on a monthly basis. So that's another one. And what I'm probably going to do since the market is up is I might get more money in there as my dividends start to roll in. But if I can't see that and they go up too far, then I'm gonna go back to my regular JPST or my SCHZ, AGG and AGGY. Those are the ones that I kind of just dump money there as a storage facility that do pay dividends. They don't move a whole lot up and down. And if I see a hard crash, then I'll sell off there just to buy, to up my position in other places, and then I'll go back to filling, putting money back into those. But we'll see how this current market plays out. My 3 favorite ETFs buys. I'm probably going to say JPST because I talk about it all the time, which is JP Morgan there. I'm going to say that one, and give me 1 second. I can probably tell you. I don't always remember the codes off the top of my head. Some of them I do, but a lot of them I don't. But I'm definitely JPST is one of the ones that I like a lot for that very reason that I said that it doesn't move up and down a whole lot. And I mean, you can look at these two as ETFs, but QYLD, RYLD, and XYLD only because they pay dividends on a monthly basis, and the dividends are pretty good. I mean, I have a lot of them that I like, but the reason why I brought those up because they're the ones that I probably have the most money sitting into outside of like my regular like AGNC and stuff like that. But JPST will probably be the top of those that I like only because it doesn't do a whole lot of up and down movement. It still pays. It still pays out a dividend on a monthly basis, and the dividend is probably around 20 cents a share. But I think I like it better because of the movement. It doesn't do a whole lot of movement. So when like currently like how the stock market is up, in my opinion, I mean there's stuff that's down that I could buy. But as a whole, the stock market is up a lot. And so I use that one, like I always say, as a place to just kind of store my dividend money so that dividend is still making money other than just idle cash that's getting interest. And then if I see the market crashes hard, then I'll probably pull some money out of that and then I'll dump it into the other stuff because they're low enough that I'm willing to take the risk and buy it. But I do like QYLD. I've had that for quite a bit of time. RYLD and I think the stocks are going up probably because of that crypto signing bill news. The other thing is I think the stock market is going up because they're predicting that the Feds are going to lower interest rates. Because I don't know if you know it or not, but I think the end of this month, I believe it's the 30th. Don't quote me on that one, but the 30th of this month, the Fed should be talking about interest rates or where it's going to go, whatever case may be. And I think that the reason why it's going up, in my opinion, is that they probably think that the Feds are going to low interest rates, and so there's probably more buying than we used to see. That's my opinion on it. But tariffs supposed to go fully in effect August the 1st. That's what they're saying. Now, everybody thought the tariffs was going to do this drastic, horrible thing, which it didn't do. And what it actually ended up doing, Mike, if you look, it's been a long time since we've had a surplus in the trade deficit. Because of the tariffs, we actually had not in the United States deficit, but I'm talking about the trade deficit when we trade with other countries. We actually had I think it was around $25 to $27 billion surplus in the trade deficit, which we haven't seen in a long time. Why? Because of tariffs. That's it. And so clearly we're seeing that it does help the economy. It's not doing what they said it was going to do. I knew it wasn't going to do what they said it was going to do, but we already know how politicians, especially on the Democratic side, they like to fearmonger people. I already knew what it was going to do that, but I think that's why I said the Fed should not lower the interest rates then, because just for the sake of knowing what you're doing and seeing where it's going to have an effect, matters. So, but at this point, Mike Sports Vibe, I'm with you on the same thing too. I think they need to lower the interest rates too. I'm with you now. If you would have asked that question 3 or 4 months ago, I'd have been like, nah, and I have made videos saying that. No, I'm not with it. I don't agree with Trump right now because I think it's too soon to make that type of judgment. But right now, I think they need to lower interest rate, and I think they really need to take a big chunk off, like one whole point, for real, because you got to get this economy moving in the right direction, and it's already moving that way. But it's time to put the icing on the cake. That's the way I look at it. It's time to put the icing on the cake. Stop playing around. And I don't know if Powell trying to pump his chest up and try to act like he's big and bag and tough. This is not what this is about. Get your feelings and your emotions out of here. Do the right thing by the citizens. Y'all went hard. Y'all went hard when y'all had to fix it. Y'all went hard. Y'all aggressively raised interest rates because it had to be done. Don't wait till this administration get in here and now you want to play tough guy. Y'all wasn't playing tough guy when y'all seen what this economy was going in the direction it was going. Y'all let it play out for a long time before y'all actually reverse course. Now all of a sudden y'all want to play tough guy. Well, here's the thing. Y'all need to lower. It's time to do the right thing and lower the interest rates. Well, you know what, Mike Sports Vibe, Ballin, you are absolutely right. The terrorists are helping the country. It's helping everyday American citizen, and the reason why, and I think, and I'm quite sure you know this too, the reason why it's helping American citizens because it's bringing jobs here, better paying jobs, and is the fact that they're getting rid of all these illegals. It means that these companies that are coming over here are going to be forced to pay American wages to American citizens because of that reason. That's why I'm glad they're getting rid of a lot of these illegals because it's the right thing to do. The other things about your last part of that question is why we didn't do this years ago, because this goes back to what I was talking about earlier in this video about these politicians and lobbyists. When you got politicians that you vote for, they never do what the voters want. They say this stuff when they campaign. But what happens, Michael, and this is my opinion, is when they get in office, they change course. And once the lobbyists say we want this and we want that, because the lobbyists are the one who actually paying for their campaign, not the voters. Because most voters don't finance campaigns. They might donate here and there, but they're getting the bigger money from the lobbyists. Meaning, let's say somebody like Bill Gates is lobbying for certain things, or somebody like the wealthy, the billionaires and stuff. Like kind of like Elon Musk. Let's say he's lobbying for something that he wants politically, or some type of law that he wants to get passed to benefit his company. This is what these lobbyists do. This is what these billionaires do, and they try to get these politicians. So the politicians will get in your face and lie about it when they campaign. Once they get into office, they start doing what the lobbyists want them to do, like Joe Biden did. I give you a prime example of what I'm talking about. So when Joe Biden got in office, he was bought and paid for by Pfizer and all these pharmaceutical companies. So he was forced to do what they wanted him to do. That's why he was saying the stuff that he was saying, which was, oh, this is a good time to be vaccinated. All this vaccine. He kept talking this stuff. And the reason why he was talking that way, because he was bought and paid for by the lobbyists, which is Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, all that. Why? Because they wanted him to push this agenda so that they can make a ton of money, which they did. They made a lot of money. But a lot of years ago, what happened is they started selling, because America started regulating and taxing and doing all this other stuff. A lot of these companies, because it was so expensive to do business in America, they start running to other countries to get the cheap labor. Here's my point to that. And this is why I tell people Democrat Party has never gotten away from wanting slavery and cheap labor. They never got away from it. Even though there's what they call black politicians that are Democrat, they all still have the wannabe slave owner mentality. Here's my point to that. My point to that is that if you hear them talking, they all keep talking about who's going to cut the grass as it relates to these illegal immigrants. Who's going to pick the fruit as it relates to these illegal immigrants? Who's going to do all of this field work like field slave would have done back in the day? Because that's why they didn't want to get rid of slavery back in the day. They wanted to keep it because what they said back then was, if we free the slaves, the cost of everything is going to go up. And this is exactly what they're saying right now. That's why I keep telling people the Democrat Party are still racist. They're still the same people. They just got a few black faces, and they got black faces doing the same thing that the white faces they claimed about years ago. But they're all still doing the same thing. They have not changed the fact that they love slavery and they want slavery back. They're doing the same stuff, and it's the same talking points. That's why you hear them say, oh, who's going to cut the grass? Who's going to work the fields? Who's going to do the job? No, they keep saying Americans don't want to do this. It ain't the Americans don't want to do it. Americans don't want to do it for the price tag that they're trying to have people do it for. They want to get cheap labor. So what happened was, because the Democratic Party couldn't do it over in America at that point, they started shipping all of these jobs over to other countries so that they can benefit from, again, cheap labor. They still want slavery. They just don't want it for themselves. So when China was doing all of that stuff over there with the cheap labor, using kids and doing all this stuff to make the stuff, that's why everything ended up going to all these other countries as opposed to here. So this is why I was 100% on board with Trump doing the tariffs. The tariffs on these other countries who's using cheap labor and cheap this and cheap that to send it over here to America. Now, in order for you to benefit from America's economy, you raise the tariffs. So what did that force the countries to do? These companies to do? Well, it is cheaper for me to now go to America and pay American wages to American people, and now they will benefit instead of me trying to do it in another country. This is why I don't have to know who the faces is. I watch what they do. So when they say Trump is a racist or this other stuff that they say, if you look at what he's doing, again, that cuts out that bullcrap for Americans. Now, if you follow what I'm saying, it cuts out the bullcrap for America. Meaning, if they're forcing these countries, these companies, if you want to benefit from an American economy, which a $20 trillion economy, anybody that do business is going to want a hand in that. They're going to want a hand in that. This is the reason why I voted the way I voted, because when he said what he said, he was doing, I said, this worked. This is exactly what we need as American citizens. So it brought all of that. Now it's forcing these companies to come back to America, build their product and make their product in America. Now, here's the thing. America has a high tax system. So when they hear these liberals and these white people and these racist people and all these Democrats keep talking about, oh, he's giving tax breaks to the billionaires. Here's the thing. If I come to the country and I'm trying to make money and be profitable, and I want to be able to pay American wages, then I got to be able to, you have to give me less taxes to be able to do it, and it'd be worth it to me. Otherwise, it's not worth it for me to come back to the country and do it that way. So that's why Trump have to give them tax breaks too. Because at the end of the day, they got to be able, he wants them to come and he wants them to stay for a long period of time and do it here so that Americans can have better paying, wages job. That's it. And get these illegals out of here so they won't be taking advantage of this country no more. That's why I'm okay with it. So when I hear these people talk, I know when I hear them talking about this stuff, I know they're lying to the people. That's exactly what they're doing. They're lying to the citizens. They're using fear mongering to try to scare them into voting a certain way, because one thing they do know about people that's afraid of, people who are afraid, you can almost dictate what they're going to do next. You know what I'm saying? If a lion comes, and a lion comes running down the street, everybody going to scatter and run. Why? Because they're afraid of that lion. So if you use fear mongering as a way of political weapon to scare people into voting a certain way, they're going to keep voting that way. And that's what ends up happening. But for somebody like me who trust and believe in God, you're not going to fear me into doing that. I don't care if everybody hate my guts for voting the way I vote. I don't care. I'm not afraid of them, and I'm not afraid of you. That's why I voted the way I voted, and that's why I did what I did. I know for the most part, the people that did not vote for Trump did not know what they were voting for. They did not know. They just went in there and voted Democratic blindly, like they always do. Because they're not looking at it from a policy perspective. They're looking at it from I don't like this person. I don't like that person. He's this or he's that. That's where that comes from. They never look at the policy. If you take Trump out of there and you ask these people the individual question of, would you be okay with men going into women's bathroom? The vast majority of people will say no. Every single woman just about will say no, unless it's her man and they about to do something weird. Funny. Right. So, and you're absolutely right. So most men would, if you ask somebody that question, they will be like, no, I don't want no man going in a woman's bathroom. That's crazy. No. Why? Just because he's dressed up as a woman. Y'all think that's okay? No. Exactly. It's the same thing as it relates to sports. It's the same thing it relates to people just coming into your country, taking advantage of it, you paying taxes. Every time you ask these questions, these individual questions, and they will say the very same thing, that tells you they're in agreement with Trump's policies. 100% in most cases that I've done this. But because it's Trump, they don't like it. How does that make sense? So you're going to go sideways because it's Trump. If any other person got up there and said the same thing, they'll be 100% on it because it makes sense. It's common sense. Like, why would you want that? But they only do it because, and I'm not saying everybody, because Trump won the election. He won everything. But the people that voted for Kamala Harris, 100%, if you ask them why they voted for her, they could not tell you. I have yet to ask. I ask the question all the time. Oh, because I don't like Trump. That's not a reason to vote for somebody because you don't like somebody else. Why did you support the person that you support? Now, if you with that type of stuff, then it makes sense. If you okay with men going into women's sports and you okay with men going into women's bathroom and you okay with people just coming across your country and don't care, then when they say that, I say, good. Why are they not in your house? If you okay with them coming across the country, why are they not in your house and why you not letting them take the locks and windows off your doors, take all that stuff off your house and let it be free for all come into your home? Because most of the people that say that will not, just like this is your home, this is your country. No person that ain't supposed to be here should just walk into your country without being permission. That's it. And that's it. They shouldn't be. They shouldn't be able to walk into your country. And they better be glad I'm not president. Because even now, in my opinion, I think they're too nice. Because if I was president, it wouldn't go down that way. The minute I see y'all coming across that border, I'm going to treat it as an invasion. And if I was president and I see you coming across that border as an invasion, I'm sitting in the military and tell them to go to work. That's it. I'm going to tell them to go to work. I'm going to make sure no one would ever make that attempt again. That's why if it was me president, that's what exactly. No, that's an invasion. Go handle that. That's an invasion. Go handle that. They terrorists coming across that border. That's an invasion. Go handle it. That would have been my response. I would have done everything I can do to protect the American citizens. Why? Because they even want to vote me in office. And I'm not going to put them under that type of threat. So if you come running across that border, I would consider it a threat. And guess what's going to happen? I will send my military and say, shut it all down. Don't care. I don't care who's on that list. I keep telling you, you keep bringing up the Epstein list. I don't care who's on the list. What I care about is who was texting kids and get some proof and put them in jail. Don't care who they are. I don't care who they are. You was touching kids or you was forcing people to do something they weren't supposed to do, go to jail. From the president on down to an everyday person. I do not care. You should be talking about his health issues. Why are you not talking about it? You can go. YouTube is open to any and everybody. And if you want to talk about it, go do it. Go fill in with the rest of them that doesn't. You can go do it with them. Look, I'm a policy man. All I care about is policy. You can put anybody in that position. What I care about is policy. Okay, he's 80 years old. And just like Biden was. Biden, we didn't have to question what Biden's health was because he said up there. That was Joe Biden. He didn't even know what he was saying out of his mouth. At least you can understand everything that comes out of Trump's mouth. Well, you probably couldn't because you don't hear it. But so you tell me, you worrying about a hand bruise? Y'all are funny. I understand them. So I guess we babble together. I don't know what your fascination with Trump is. I'm talking policy. I'm not talking Trump. You stuck on it. You say that. And, I mean, here's my point to that. If Trump's name was on the Epstein list, why the Democrats ain't bring it out? Why didn't they do it when they was in office? If Trump's name was on the Epstein list, and I don't care if it is or not, but here's my point. You had Joe Biden and them. They tried to have this. They were going everything they can do to stop Trump. So why not? Why didn't they bring it out? Why didn't they bring it out then? If they knew that Trump's name was on Epstein's list when he was running for president, that would have been the first thing they brought up. They wouldn't even have went through all these hoaxes that they were trying to pull up with the Russia hoax and all that other stuff. That would have been probably the number one thing they brought up was his name being on the Epstein list. And I don't know if it is or not. I really don't. It's not even that serious to me. But if it was, and they had that evidence, why didn't they do it? I'm asking you. You saying he a pedophile, but you sent no proof of that. If he was a pedophile, he was doing all of that. As much as the Democrats was trying to stop this man, they would have pulled all that out. They would have done all of that. They would have put everything that they could possibly find on him out. Not no made-up stuff. They would have went and got hardcore. Y'all had this man sitting in front of a judge. Y'all had him sitting in front of a judge for some stuff that y'all changed the law to try to get him into that, and it didn't work. So my point is, if y'all had all of that, and I'm not saying that they don't, why didn't y'all use it? If they had all of that evidence, why didn't they use it? I'm not making an excuse. I'm asking you, why didn't they use it? If it's there, use it. You can still use it. That's my point. You saying is I'm weird. No, I'm not. I'm asking a question. If all of that was there, they should have used it. I look silly because I'm asking them for a question how I look silly. You came in here and talking about that. My question is, if they had all of that, they should have used it. If you don't think that that would have stopped Trump from winning the election if they had all that information, you trying to stop this man from winning, and you know he's on that list. I would have brought it out, especially why wouldn't Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and all of them people that was already in office say this? We need to bring this out so that everybody else can know that this man was on Epstein's list. They should have used it. If it was there, I don't know if it is or not, but if it's there, they should have used it. They should have used it. Why didn't they use it? And my thing is this: if you got proof of that, then why don't you go do a video and expose all the truth that you have with that? I don't have to defend the man. That's his job. That's his problem. But you saying you bringing this stuff up, so I'm asking you, go get it. I don't need him to care about me. I need him to care about the country. I care about me. God cares about me. I know how. I need him to care about the country, and I needed those policies that he ran on, and guess what happened? Bang, he won. And because he won, my money looked better already. I'm not angry. You know I'm not angry. I talk like this all the time on every live. You know I'm not angry. This is how I talk. I'm just laughing at what you're saying because you're not making sense. I don't care if he was on that list or not. My question is, if anybody, they got proof that these people were touching kids, if they got proof that anybody was touching children or forcing people to do stuff that they did not want to do, they all need to go to jail. And that's any one of them. And that is from the president on down to everyday person. I don't care who you are. Now, if I was the one applying the sentence, they wouldn't live. My opinion on it would be different. I would do like they did in the Old Testament. I would stone them to death so they can die a slow death. But that's just my opinion. You part of the cult too. You keep saying it, but you part of this cult. You here with us all the time. I'm not making excuses for nobody. All I know is the person that you talking about wasn't the one that signed legislation to let it to say it's okay for men to go into women's sports. I just know that the person you talking about wasn't the one that said it's okay for boys to go in the girls' bathroom. See, those type of things, and when you go write laws for that, that tell me that you really a pedophile. You don't even care. You don't even care that there's a difference between a boy and a girl no more. But I never heard you once come up here and talk about what Obama does. Why are you afraid of them so much? Let's not talk about Trump. Let's talk about the pedophile Obama that you voted for. You want to talk? Let's talk about him. The one you talked about, the one that said that signed legislation that it's okay for boys to go in the girls' bathroom. Let's talk about him. If you want to talk about it, let's talk about him. So you saying it's okay for boys to go in the girls' bathroom? You said it. Because you refuse to talk about Obama and what he did. I'm not desperate because why would I be desperate? The person I voted for won. What am I desperate for? He got the House, he got the Senate, and he had the presidency. He had the popular vote and the electoral college. Everything worked. He got it all right now. So what would I possibly be desperate for? You don't want to sound desperate because you here. He won. I'm getting what I voted for. What I wanted to vote, I wanted these illegal immigrants taken out of here. That's what's happening. I wanted that border shut down. That's what's happening. I wanted them to stop men from going in women's sports. That's what's happening. I wanted it to be two genders that recognize in this country. That's what's happening. Everything that I voted for up until this point, I've been getting what I voted for. So please make it make sense. Well, why would I be desperate? I'm celebrating. I don't sound stupid. I might sound stupid to you. But you putting comments in there, but why won't you put a comment in what you think about Obama? Why you won't touch it? You keep talking about Trump, but you won't touch Obama. I'm waiting for you to put up there what you feel about Obama. I asked you a question, you never answered. We talk about Trump a lot of times. What about Obama? Talk about Obama. The fact that he did that video talking about what he think that boys need instruction by gay men. That's what he said. So you tell me, you okay with that? Talk about Obama. You don't want to talk about that, huh? I mean, you keep talking about Trump, and that's cool. You can talk about it. So you don't want to talk about the fact that Obama was trying to force Africa to accept that gay marriage stuff. He's going to another country, trying to force them to do something, and they saying no. And then Kamala Harris went back to do the same thing. Joe Biden, all of them. You don't want to talk about that. You don't want to talk about the fact that they're trying to give people sexual benefits from their sexual behavior. You don't want to talk about that. You're trying to give people benefits from their sexual behavior. Because how else would you know somebody's gay other than their sexual behavior? I'm asking. He was. And I asked you a question. He was. And he the one did it. So you okay with it? You okay with what he did? And you said you had a daughter. And I guarantee you that if some man walked into a bathroom with your daughter in there, you would have a problem with it. You'll have a problem with it. Unless you okay with that type of stuff. Unless you okay with a man going into the bathroom violating your daughter. Because I'm not okay with it. And that president that we used to have called Obama was the one who pushed that. And you know what I do? I actually do got Obama deranged syndrome. You're absolutely right, because I don't like him. I don't like him. See, the thing about it is I'm man enough to say what I like and don't like. I don't hide. I'm right here. And no, I don't like him. because I don't like what he did. And I don't have to hide that from nobody. Nope, I don't like him. Call it what you want. And I got my reasons. And in my opinion, he was probably one of the worst things that ever happened to America. And I ain't got to hide it. I'm right here. And I don't hide that part. I don't like none of the Democrats at this point. It ain't just him. I don't like none of the Democrats. Yep, because I can. That's the whole point. I can. I can talk about it. Because I can. I don't like what he did. And he still was playing a part in what was going on in Washington. Even though he wasn't the president, he still was playing a part in that. I don't like Joe Biden because he's about as big as racist you ever seen in your life. Kamala Harris is about as dumb as they come. So I don't care for none of them. Because they're all fools. And they don't know what they're doing. And they destroyed this country. And made a mess of it. And and I can't, and all the people that say that they this and that, they got no leg to stand on because they can't tell me what they did that was so good. None of them can tell me what was so good. And when all of them was in office, none of them can tell me that anything that they did that was so good. Meanwhile, since Trump been in there, I've been winning every day. I don't even care if I didn't like Trump. My money looked better. The border's secure. People are leaving out of here. They're racking them up and packing them up and shipping them out. I ain't got to tell myself it's happening. It's happening. Border crossings. Economy. Everything is going exactly how I voted. Which is rare. Inflation is not up, bro. Crime ain't up. The only crime is up is y'all people, the liberals, who ones who going into California and tearing stuff up. That's the only crime that's up. Is liberal behavior is up. Because they're the ones out there throwing bricks and rocks and stone at law enforcement. So that's the only crime that's up. Is the ones that's out there throwing bricks and stone at law enforcement who don't respect this country, nor do they respect law enforcement. So yeah, if you want to look at crime, that type of crime is definitely up. The ones that don't respect law enforcement. All of your liberal buddies are out there throwing rocks and stones at law enforcement. And I got to give law enforcement credit on that one. They didn't respond the way they probably should respond. Somebody throwing bricks and stones at you, they not responding. They pulling off and they leaving, doing their job. But honestly speaking, the law enforcement, when you start throwing rocks and stones at them, they should have threw bullets back. That's what they should have did. But they didn't. They let it ride and drove off. So you're right. Yeah, crime is up. It's the white liberals out there committing all the crime. Oh, he always here with his craziness. But it's all good. My gas ain't up. My gas is still cheaper. Even though it went up a little bit, it's still cheaper. How? Yeah. Why isn't it happening yet? You don't even understand it. MAGA is actually the biggest political party right now, by far. The Republican Party is not as big as MAGA right now. So what are you talking about? MAGA is actually bigger. Listen, and I'm not saying I'm a part of MAGA. I voted for Trump because of the policies. That's it. And I want to make America great again, too. That's it. It don't matter what face you put there. You can put another person there, it wouldn't matter to me. But all of y'all saying that and the losing, while all y'all sitting on the losing side, y'all all saying that. All of y'all on the losing side are all saying that. He won the House, he won the Senate, he won all of this stuff, and all y'all still saying that. Yep. Call it what you want. You can call it stupidity all you want. See, my thing is I'm thick-skinned. Name calling, what people say, none of that stuff even affects me. I can care less. I'm going to ride the train that I ride, and it's working out well for me. Ain't my fault you didn't jump on board. The border. That's number one with me. The border. I wanted them out. I still want them all out. That is my number one policy. My one. The economy and all that is a byproduct. I want all that stuff too. But my number one was I wanted these criminals out of here. These people that came across that border, I wanted them out. All of them. I want them gone. Because I don't trust just letting anybody in here. Really, Donald? Really? Okay, border's not a policy. If you want to say it's not a policy, that's cool. That was why he won. Because I wanted him to enforce our border laws and write it to make sure that they don't come across that border. That was more important to me than anything. Whatever. Okay. You can call it what you want. You can call it what you want. You can call it what you want. And second to that, 2 genders. Male and female. That's it. Birthright citizenship. It's American. Not somebody coming over here and try to sneak in the country and want to have a kid. I'm not with that. And it's okay if you call me not so smart. But yet you're still here. It's a policy in my book. You might not agree with it, but it's a policy in my book. 2 gender, male and female. Border, policy in my book. Call it what you want. I'm not here to act like I'm the smartest. I'm still getting what I asked for. I'm still getting what I asked for. What he campaigned on, I'm getting. So you can make all the comments all you want. See, what you always come in here looking for is an aha moment. I'm not here for that. I can call it what I want to call it. It is a policy in my book. It was a campaign promise. And guess what? I'm getting what I voted for. Every single campaign promise I'm getting. Not one has he missed yet. So you can call it what you want. That's in their head. That transgender stuff is in their head. That's not real and that's not reality. That means that they got a mental problem and they're off. That's in their head. I don't care about what they do with their personal life. I just don't want them forcing it and trying to shove it down everybody else's throat. Because at the end of the day, it's nothing but a lie. A man can't be a woman, and a woman can't be a man. And I make no apologies for that. I don't care. That's my whole point. I don't care. I just don't want our country participating in it. That's why I'm glad they did what they did. You can be whatever you want to be. It don't mean you're going to be telling the truth. And like I said before, and I make no apologies for what I say. You can call it what you want to call it. You'll never be what you're trying to be in your head. A man will never be a woman, and a woman will never be a man. Simple as that. I don't care how many doctors plot, pride, cut, do whatever they want to do, so on. None of that stuff. Still not going to happen. Just like they magnify the hate for straight people. Just like they magnify the hate for straight people because they're trying to force us to try to participate in that sickness. So I don't back down to no one when it comes to certain things because I'm not afraid of them. And here you are trying to defend them, but you don't defend heterosexual men, regular people. I don't care. You keep thinking it's about not wanting people. I don't want them in the bathroom. I don't want them in the sports. I don't want them in places where it makes women more susceptible to being raped and molested and taken advantage of. That's my point. They can be whatever they want to be outside the regular world, but there are certain things that are specific for women. And I don't want them to be put in harm's way because pedophiles want to make that stuff okay. That's why I called Obama what he was, because he's the one who pushed it. He the one said it was okay for men to go in women's bathrooms and stuff. So that's why I had a problem with it. Because as a father who has a daughter, it is never going to play out that way around me. He's not trying, it ain't got nothing to do with getting rid of gay people. It has everything to do with they better not go in the bathroom with women. They don't need to be in the sports. You want to be that way? Be that way. They was that way before Obama wrote that law. Before Obama did all that, put all that into play, they were that way. My point is, stay that way the way you want to be, but don't enforce it on everybody else. No, and it should not be in the government trying to force it on everybody else. Simple as that. But where are the people that defended heterosexual men, regular people, who don't participate in that? We were born the way we are. We weren't trying to cut and plaster stuff on. What's up, Unknown Opinionoid? God bless you. Welcome in. Welcome in. I'm not snapping. You don't want to come in here asking all these questions saying, but like I said, one thing about me is that when it comes to certain things, I don't have I'm not going to back down because they don't back down. You're not going to force that on us. And when Obama said what he said in that interview, made it clear to me that that's what he wanted. He wanted to put women in harm's way by allowing men to take advantage of them and go into bathrooms where women's supposed to be. And no real man, no masculine man is ever going to be okay with that. Now, if you're a punk man or you fragile yourself, yeah, I get it. But no real straight man is going to be okay with men going into women's bathrooms and stuff like that. We're not going to have it. And if I'm the only one defending women in that, which I know I'm not, then I will be the only one. But that's never going to back down with me. My point is that, and I agree with you, Howard. But see, only a pedophile will want that. Only someone that wants to take advantage of women internally will want that type of stuff. The only person that have a messed up mind will want that. The fact that they conjured that up and put it into law tells me that they're a pedophile. I don't have to see them. The fact that they allow their mind to conjure that up, to say that it's okay for men to go in the women's bathroom. Meanwhile, you got a wife and daughter. You as a president of the United States got a wife and you got daughters. And you still conjured up in your head that it's okay for men. I want y'all to hear this. You the president of the United States. You conjured up in your head with other people that it's okay for men to go into women's bathrooms and take advantage of women just because they dressed up as a woman. And you got a wife and daughters. And that's why when he sat there and did that interview and said what he said out of his mouth, then it made more sense. Make that make sense. Make it make sense. You literally, as a man with a wife and daughters, conjured up in your head that it's okay for men to go in the women's bathroom. And I guarantee you, he didn't let that happen to his kids. I bet you he didn't let that happen to his wife. But he wanted it for everybody else. Meanwhile, he got security for his family. He got security for his kids, but he wanted it for y'all. You saying that, but you, like I said, go do video and put up proof. If you feel as though that's what it is, go do videos and put up proof. They never have. They listen, bro. Howard, they all use the same talking points. They get paid to do what they do. They all use the same talking points. They get paid to go to channels like mine or some of the other ones that they feel as though support Trump or Trumpers or whatever they call them, or MAGA people. They get paid to come to channels like mine and try to plead their case. Problem with me is that I am stubborn like my father. And one thing I'm never going to do is be okay with men going into women's bathroom. I'm never going to be okay with my country being invaded by foreigners who I don't know what they are and I don't know what their intentions are. It's the same way in my house. You come in my house uninvited, you're going to get met with something. Simple as that. I make no apologies for that. So so for what they're talking about, they can stand on there all they want to. Listen to what he said. Is it really the president's job to tell people where they can go to the bathroom at? So when you say that, when you say what you just said, then why did Obama say it so? Then why did Obama say it so? You add to your point. Then why did he say it so? Trump, this is what Obama started it. So you tell me, why did Obama start it? If it ain't the president's job to say where you can go to the bathroom or not, meanwhile, he's the head of the military. So if you're not following real rules, they can try to use the military against you. But let's just go with that. Then why did Obama do it? I'm going by your statement. Is it really the president's job to tell people where they can go to the bathroom at? Then why did Obama do it? Because he started it. So why did he do it? That was your statement. Then why did Obama do it? Why did he feel as though he had the authority to do it? I'm asking. Again, why did Obama do it? You put the statement up there, then why did Obama do it? Why did Obama sign legislation, unknown to point, you know it? He signed legislation to force the schools to allow boys to go in the women's bathroom. Obama did this. He signed legislation to try to force Africa. He was so adamant about forcing this stuff that he went to Africa, and when Africa told him no, he signed legislation. He tried to basically starve Africa because they wasn't going to accept gay marriages. That's what Obama did. He didn't want to throw it out there. And the fact that he was mentored by a gay professor and he was so great about it tells me why we ended up where we ended up at. That's why this is even a subject that should not have been in Washington in the first place. But now we're here. So since he brought it up, why you're right. Why did he feel as though he had the authority and he the one get to tell you, to give men authority? Because here's the thing. Of course, men have went in the women's bathroom and violated them before that. But he was giving them, he was now giving them permission. When he did that, he gave men permission. He gave the men government backing to say that it's okay to go into women's sports and women's bathroom. Again, Donald, go do video and show it. Don't hide behind a fake name. Go do video and show it. So you're defending a pedophile? You said he didn't. So you're defending a pedophile? You didn't think that Obama went over there and so you saying that Obama did not try to force gay marriages on Africa? You don't think that, and then Joe Biden and Kamala Harris doubled down on it. They went over to Africa and tried to force it again. And Africa said, no, we're not doing that. So what's your point? Calling somebody something isn't proof that they are. They might be. I don't know. It's funny to watch. I know it is. I know it is to you because you keep coming back for it. But again, I got to go. Got to get up out of here. Y'all have a blessed, wonderful day. Hopefully all is well. Hopefully y'all enjoying life. And I'm going to stay lost, Donald, because I don't want no parts of what they offering over there. I'm good. I'd rather be lost where I'm at right now than to be a part of that mess that's going on over there, and it will never change for me. I like where I'm at. I enjoy it. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I don't unravel. Yeah, he was. That's exactly what he was. Useless. But I got to get up out of here. Y'all have a blessed, wonderful day. Hopefully, prayerfully, y'all having a beautiful day. Hopefully all is well. Till the next time, Donald, make sure you hit that like button. Please like, subscribe to the channel. Appreciate it. All is welcome. Even Crazy Donald. But hopefully, like I said, like I always say, man, at the end of the day, make sure y'all have God in your life. That's more important than anything I can say, anything we can do, anything we can talk about. That matters more than anything. And with that said, I'm going to get up out of here. Y'all have a blessed, wonderful day. I'm out of here. Peace.